What is on your list of must-haves for RVing? Everybody has their own list because everybody RVs their own way. But there are several items that are pretty much on everyone's list.
Yeah, what you see in front of us was accumulated over time, but some things we had before we even owned our RV.
Yep. So today's question is, what do you think is a must-have for every RVer?
We're Nick and Julie Marshall. We've been RVing now for 5 years. We started off with a 23-foot and a 27-foot Airstream, and since then we've traded up to a Newmar Dutch Star 4369, and we've been doing that for the last year and a half full time. We have Instagram, which is We Are Lola RV. Lola stands for Living Our Life Adventure. I made sure my tires were good. When we bought the coach, it was 5 years old. It may have been a little bit early to change them, but I went ahead and put brand new tires on the coach. I have a tire monitoring system. It just gives you a peace of mind as you're going down the highway that you can see what's going on, both for the coach and for your toad. So to me, that's probably one of the most important pieces
I would
of gear.
agree. I would agree.
Our grill that we have outside. That's a must for everybody. Everybody needs a grill. Try to cook as much as you can outside in aluminum foil and make it easy on yourself where you don't have to do a lot of dishes.
I was going to say you had to get one accessory for your RV. Everybody's got to have the pressure regulator, the hoses, the water faucets, all that stuff. But what a lot of people I think don't think about that they really should, especially if you're RVing outside of other people and you don't know what the environment is and you can't always get good cell phone. We have a weather station, and our weather station tells us all about the temperature, what the weather's like, what the wind is like, and I've watched that wind like there's no tomorrow. To me, I think you're gonna have everything. Everybody's gonna have everything else, but a weather station's pretty cool.
One thing that we've recently added that I think is an RV must for everyone is we added a WeBoost cellular antenna.
Yeah.
And it really has made a big difference in our ability to have connectivity. Even though you want to go out and you want to boondock and you want to experience things, and maybe you want to be separated from society to a certain degree, you still need connectivity with the rest of the world. You need to be able to email your friends or your family. You need to be able to text. You need to be able to download the news, look at the weather apps and things like that.
Yeah.
So I personally believe it's a very small WeBoost antenna that we power with a 12-volt outlet. And it's made a big difference in our ability to stay connected with the outside world.
I think one of my favorites is we have that Mr. Heater Big Buddy, and it's it allows us to go boondock in colder climates. Especially, with the solar and the energy management, it takes no electricity. It burns on propane, and it keeps our coach magically.
Very nice.
It's just awesome.
To check your tires, I mean, that's important. So one of those little gauge things for the tires, for sure. I definitely try to make sure I check the tires and make sure the pressures are always good.
I like our organization system in the RV. Like, I like things to be organized and tidy. So all sorts of like making sure the boxes are the right size. They slide into the cupboards and then you can slide them out and easily get to the back. It's such a small space and reasonable amount of stuff. So keeping it tidy and
organized.
Finding a particular place for each item. So it's not like all over the place, and it's much easier to set up and tear down every time. Like,
for me, one of the most important things that we have, and I think one of the ones that a lot of people don't have, is we have a dedicated charger. So that whenever we connect our trailer to the truck, we get a really powerful charge coming through from the truck. A lot of people, they plug in that 7-pin connector and they assume they're going to be charging their trailer batteries. The reality is, in modern trucks and modern vehicles, the alternator will power down. We have a dedicated device that means we get about 600 watts whenever we plug in. And that's actually allowed us to go so far with just a single 100-watt portable panel and batteries. And we can boondock for several days on those batteries. And we just plug the truck in if we get into an emergency situation and we need to charge. But then as soon as we move from one spot to the next, we get a big boost of power back again.
I have a favorite kitchen gadget, which is immersion blender. That's high quality and reasonably high powered. So you can use it for soups, for smoothies, for making hummus, for making potato pancakes, for whipping heavy cream. it's just so many uses for just one device, and it's much smaller than the big food processors.
We've ended up with a handful of things that I would never have guessed that we would have used and have just turned out to be super, super useful. One of those is our pizza stone. It's square, it's 12 inches by 12 inches, and it fits perfectly in there without covering any of the vent holes. And what it does is it distributes the heat. So before we were burning everything in the oven, because it has all this heat coming from underneath, but nothing on top. And now with that pizza stone in, we have just a really useful oven, nothing gets burnt, and it just works really well for us. So that was one that we didn't expect to have to buy, but it turned out really useful.
Instant Pot. I love the Instant Pot. Believe it or not, I was so scared. I'll tell them. First time we got it, I was cooking a meal at home because I wanted to practice with it a little bit. And I don't know, I'm scared of that little thing that you got to hit. So I would use a spoon and he would be laughing. I'm like, but now I'm used to it and absolutely loved it. Made spaghetti last week, made hard-boiled eggs last week to prepare for this whole boondocking experience this week.
My personal most important thing is our solar and battery setup, because it allows us to go off grid and still have pretty much all the comforts of hookups.
A little med kit. We carry a backpack with everything you could possibly need, gauze. I just
we
think
carry
that's
a stomp
important.
bag. We carry a stomp bag, yeah.
Just in case. You run into somebody that needs it or you need it yourself.
We're a rolling hospital for the most part.
Yeah.
We love our Berkey for the water filter system.
Water filters.
The water here wasn't that great, and we got this, and we even take it in the house when we are at home.
It's a surge protector or electrical protector on your post, either at the post or internally. We've been to some campgrounds where we had to basically shut everything down because of power usage was low. And then along with that, a water pressure controller to control your water pressure coming into this system. The Airstreams have an internal system, but we've still had a hose blow up from the spigot because the pressure was so high.
One of the most important items that every RVer needs is an electrical management system. It's a little more advanced than a surge protector, but it basically does protect your power system. And let me tell you, I learned the hard way. We didn't have one. We had an electrical surge. Sean was on a business trip, and I had to pull the 44-foot fifth wheel by myself for the first time to a shop to get it fixed because there was no remote technicians around there. So I learned the hard way how important it is, and it ended up costing a lot of damage to the RV. We not only had to get the socket where the power cord goes in repaired, but there was like some internal power mechanisms that had to be repaired.
And I would say another thing all RVers should upgrade to is lithium batteries. Since we've upgraded to our lithium batteries, we have been very happy with being unhooked. The batteries last forever and they're very durable. And Julie says it's really been a game changer for us in our RV travel.
Yeah, even though we mostly stay at campgrounds, it has just been huge because it powers the RV when you're in transit. It does give you the opportunity to boondock if you want comfortably. So yeah, it's been huge for me. And then the last piece of equipment is if you want to stay connected while you're in the RV, the WeBoost.
Yeah, definitely get a WeBoost. They're easy to install and they really do improve any cellular signal that you can get.
And we just like to add that when you're thinking about getting products for the RV, you ought to think about shopping from other RVers who also have businesses. There's several of them. One of our favorites is Techno RV, Eric and Tammy Johnson. They're full-time RVers, and they sell several of these products that we talked about. And the great thing is they only sell products that they use, and they're available by phone and text. Like when we had questions, we would message them, and they would respond to them. And you might get it a few bucks cheaper at Amazon, I don't know, but you're not going to get that kind of service, and you're not supporting a fellow RVer.
Yeah, we call it shopping RV local.
Let's go with surge protector at the post.
Yeah.
You can't guarantee at any parks that you'll have correct electric at the post. So that'll protect your coach. RV specific tools. You're don't need a lot, but
Some kind of toolkit.
yeah, some kind of toolkit.
Yeah. And probably along the lines of a surge protector is maybe also some ability to do water filtration to protect yourself, you know, from various sources of
Yeah,
water.
depending on your coach, absolutely. And I think something to cook outside.
There we go.
My favorite piece of RV equipment is definitely our Rhino Blaster.
Yeah.
It is a piece that goes on where your black hose hooks in. It goes from the actual RV to the black hose, and it will shoot water up into your black tank. We had an issue for a long time with our black tank showing 2/3 full. We didn't realize we had a clog. Once we bought this Rhino Blaster, it really
It changed it really did, because our travel trailer did have a built-in flush, but it's pretty much like a sprinkler that's just doing nothing in there. It would never hit the sensors and do anything. And the Rhino Blaster has like 19 names. It's like cam code, 90 degree, elbow, clear, whatever, like Rhino Blaster. And but we love it. You can hook your black hose, your black water hose into it and basically spray backwards and backfill your tanks to help those clogs and help them get cleaned out.
And it works, because we've gone from 2/3 full to empty, and it actually showed empty.
Yeah, that was definitely and it was cheap. It was like $18 or something. So by far the best.
I would also say our Anderson levelers, absolutely needed those every single day.
Especially the travel trailer. We haven't used them yet in the new rig because we just park on level ground. I don't have to worry about. Well, the travel trailer, you have to level it every time. Anderson levelers were amazing. And another thing that I would say is Reflectix. If you don't know what Reflectix is, stop, Google it, and go get some. It's like $40 at Lowe's. You can cut it with scissors, and
I mean, it's
especially
ugly,
in the
but
keys,
yes, if
it
you're
made a world of difference.
in really cold environments or really hot environments, it really helps to insulate your RV and keep those temperatures out.
Exactly.
I'm getting ready to purchase it, actually. A rug. I need a rug out front.
An outdoor rug.
An outdoor rug mat for my dogs to wipe their paws off before they come in, because you're always in situations where the ground's going to be muddy. And so right now, that is a must.
Yeah, if you have pets, be prepared to either be cleaning them a lot or cleaning your rig a lot.
And I can't think of anything else that's been a must for us so far. We're kind of still learning on what we need and what we want, and seems we go back to our pets, but couch covers were a must for us, because we want our couches to stay nice, so we bought couch covers for that. So that's it for us right now.
For us, the gear that is essential for us,
probably our internet
Yeah.
gear. I mean, our Wi-Fi Ranger router, our hotspots, our internet gear is critical for my job, for our channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the Marcel?
TV.
What about the Marcel? That's important.
Yeah.
For our little puppy dog's sake, that's important.
It monitors temperature and humidity and power, so that if any of those go awry, we get text notifications and emails so our little doggy doesn't die.
And then safety gear like the TPMS and the backup camera and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, when you're shopping for an RV and you decide you're going to RV, especially full time, you will find that you're going to need a lot of things that aren't needs, but you're going to want them, like a tire pressure monitoring. You're going to need poop hoses. You're going to need all this stuff. But as far as favorite gear, it's got to be the internet equipment.
Many of the items you see here that we have were talked about by some of our favorite RVers. And of course, we could repeat the same things they said, because many of us do think the same way. For example, your top two are?
My EMS and my TPMS.
And the TPMS.
Yeah.
So instead of repeat the same stuff over and over, we thought we would talk about a couple of items that might help you out that weren't mentioned earlier. All right, first is this little handy dandy thing, which is
It's a MIMO antenna.
the benefit of the MIMO antenna is it's only $30.
Less. It was like $22 on Amazon.
And it really does boost your internet, your Wi-Fi signal, and sometimes even better than the handy dandy WeBoost.
Yeah. So this just plugs right into the back of our hotspot, and it's directional, so we just move it around the rig until we find an optimal signal, and we're good.
So if you can't afford a WeBoost when you're starting off, this would be a really good option for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, and then the next thing that I want to talk about that for us is really important is our
Govee.
Yes, our Govee. And this really is to protect Gizmo. If you haven't seen our pet video, we do talk about it in there. It is Bluetooth? Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
It's Wi-Fi, so we don't pay a monthly signal or a monthly fee like you do with some of them.
Right. Signal.
Whatever. You guys know what I mean.
So I just download the app on my phone, and I get real-time temperature and humidity on the phone, and I get alerts. So we set parameters, and this is so we know that Giz is in here comfortable.
Right. So for me, this is at the top of the list.
Yeah.
And I do want to say that Lisa from Always on Liberty talked about her big buddy, and that's this right here. And I know a lot of you guys are thinking, why would I buy a propane heater when I have propane heater on my rig? Well, there's two really important, maybe even three really important reasons. One,
tell us, Stace.
One, your regular propane heater sucks a lot of electricity. So if you're boondocking, you know that's going to take its toll.
Yeah.
Two, it also uses way more propane than this little guy does. And most importantly, three, you don't have to move your RV to fill it up.
Yep.
So if you're running low on propane, you got to move your whole rig. But if you're using this, oops, if you're using this, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, so we connect our Mr. Heater Big Buddy to a 20-pound propane tank outside of the RV, and we run a 12-foot hose through the slide inside. Works perfect, and when that propane tank needs to be filled, we just throw it in the back of the car, and off we go.
Off we go, yep.
The RV, it'd take us a while to do that. Some of the trailers, travel trailers, and fifth wheels have removable tanks that aren't as easy, but easier than removing your whole rig. So this is a great option for those in climates where you want to stay warm. And this thing will run you out of your rig.
Yes, that's right. And they have 3 sizes, so you can get the size that best fits you.
Yeah.
As far as water filters, this is the one we use currently. There's also we have one internal.
We have a built-in one. Right. This one is attached to the water hose coming from the city water tap at the park that we're at.
So it just gives us an extra buffer.
Yep.
If you're going to be out, we're in Texas right now, if you're going to be in this area, remember it is very hard water, so you may want to do even something else like a water softener, but you can figure out what works best as far as water filtration for your own rig. And like one of our RVers said, they use a Berkey.
Yeah.
Those great
so
big
and
ones.
another pro tip with using this here, put the date that you put it on there so that you know 3 months from now when it's time to swap it out, you're not having to think, what day did I put this on?
Good
Just
call.
put the date when you put it on there. That way you know when it's time to swap it out.
And the last thing that we would recommend is Phil's favorite thing.
I've got a lot of favorite things. The snap pads really have saved me from having to bend down all the time. My back doesn't like it. And having to put something under our jack pads to protect them. So the snap pads to me were a no-brainer as soon as I saw them. I'm telling you, I love them. I recommend them to anybody that doesn't have them. And they do more than just, look good. There's a ton of things that come with them. We have a video on what we did with those and how we put them on and the benefits. So if you haven't seen that, we'll link that as well.
Yeah, and no, we're not being paid by Snap Pads. We're not an affiliate or anything like that. I hope this video was helpful as you make your list of must-haves before you hit the road or as you are adding to it now that you're currently on the road.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to add to our list anymore.
But he does. Thanks for watching. Be sure and hit that subscribe button.
And make sure you stick around and watch the bloopers. You don't want to miss those.
That is the best part of the video.
It is.
Let's say that louder. Let's start again.
Okay.
Say that louder so we can see. It's
Sorry.
Yeah.
Can I do one more?
Nothing?
Well. This is true. Why do you keep moving away from me?
Have you showered?
No, but so? When does that have made a difference?
Sorry, I didn't know I was. Sorry. Hi,
Keep
babe.
going like this.
Hi,
I
babe.
was moving over
Hi.
closer.
Hi. Okay.
That's what I would think. What about you?
What is so much crap?